to see if we're live on Instagram. We are also live on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you, Z. I got the phone ready. I'm gonna make some phone calls. We got a few people getting on here. Patrick, what a great name you have, Patrick Ark and Jello. We got Floor. We got several people that got on Instagram. Facebook's coming up. Vera, we got you on. David Vera. Lorenzo, Godinez, Chris, Onyango, Gaines. A bunch of people getting on. Okay, Miguel Opus, how you doing? We got Mario on, everybody. Mario Aguilar's on. Anyways, by the way, what an interview today. I can't wait for you guys to see that if you missed it. That'll go out live here pretty soon. Gaines, you go kill your webinar. Yes, thank you, Nick. It was a very interesting interview. If you guys didn't get a chance to see it today, it'll be going live on YouTube here in a minute. So here's what I'm doing. I'm at the office. By the way, for full transparency, I got my pants on. Somebody said today, Pat, I bet you're wearing shorts because of the picture I posted. I have some things I want to show you. I have here with me. I want to make some phone calls. You got any questions? I got Insta, I got Facebook. I don't have Twitter today. I just decided to come to the office because I have one more video I need to shoot before I leave. It's 9 p.m. right now. I am at the office. It's 8:55 p.m. for some of you guys that are wondering. I'm at the office. If you got any questions, put your questions down. Put your phone number down, and I will drop and the question that you put up. So while you're going out there with your questions, both Insta and Facebook, a couple things I want you to be thinking about. Something we're doing with our employees. I think some of you guys can be thinking about doing this with your staff, or if you have folks that are working for you. Today, we sent a goodie bag for our nearly 100 employees that are working from home, and we sent them a goodie bag. Who wants to see what's in the goodie bag? Now, obviously, it's in a package. Anybody want to see what's in the goodie bag and what we wrote them? Let me tell you what's in it and what we did. Here's what we did, okay? Each goodie bag came with a note. I think right now, a lot of people that are working remotely, both the employer, the bosses, and the employees are trying to figure things out, how to work together. It's a little bit crazy. Everyone's kind of trying to figure this thing out. So here's what we did. We sent them a letter, okay? And we told them a bunch of different things. We says coffee. Okay, I'll explain to you what's in here so this kind of makes sense to you. Let me just take this out. I'll show you exactly what we sent to nearly 100 of our employees that are not working here. They're working remotely. First thing we did is we have our new initiative, which we call our employees Lions, the anatomy of a lion, okay? And you see we made this, and it explains what we stand for. It took us 6 months. We hired an entire marketing company that brought a reputation on how to get employees, on what kind of employees we wanted to hire at the home office. And we spent 12 weeks with this team and asked questions. She did interviews with 30 of our employees and executives, and they called 26 of our field leaders and spoke to them on what the company stands for. And then we came up with a bunch of different things, and we wrote it out and what the values and principles of the company are. So every one of our employees got this. Then it says caffeine to kick off your day. All right, caffeine to kick off your day. We got them an instant coffee, okay? Supplement your breakfast for break. Okay, we got them one of these bars for supplement chewy for your breakfast. How about a little vitality boost? We got them these Mama Chia, vitality boost. Okay, this one to every single one of our employees. Give me a break. Maybe they need a break. We got them a KitKat bar because you need to take a break, right? A KitKat bar. Post coffee or lunch break. We got them a Trident sugar gum, Frigga, sugar-free gum. Boost of antioxidants. We got them some antioxidants. Urge for healthy chips. We got them healthy apple chips. And a bunch of other things that's on here on top of the shirt. We send this to every single one of our employees. And we send them a balloon. You know, no matter how old you are, everybody loves to have a balloon to do this. So this went to every single one of our employees. And the reason why we did that is because we are so grateful for the great job that they're doing. Right now, we have a bunch of different things that's being processed. Last month, in a month of March, we had a record-breaking month. We were not expecting to do as much business as we did. Last year in March, we did 5,021 policies. This month, we did 6,300 in a month, and our biggest month ever in annuities was $9 million. I think we did $25 million just this month. We did 320 something policies of annuities. We've never had a month like this before in the month of March, and that's what all the craziness going on. It's because our team at the home office is working to support everybody. So I just wanted to jump on a quick live, make a few calls. My shoot is in 45 minutes. I got 45 minutes with you. Having said that, if you have any questions you want to process, I want to call you so we can talk about it. Let me see if I can see any questions on Facebook. Post your question and your phone number. I will call you. Anything you want to talk about, business, entrepreneurship, anything that's keeping you up at night right now, post your question and your number, and we will do that. Let's see. I think Instagram posted more pick questions. Okay, hi Patrick, how did you get yourself motivated and positive at a time like this? Okay, I'm about to call you, Dorothy. Dorothy 405, your call's coming your way. Oh, you put 9 numbers. How do you want me to call you with... You didn't even put 9 numbers. You put 13 numbers. I can't call you at 13 numbers. I need a different number. Yeah, you put 1 too many numbers. So change your number, give me another number, and I'll dial you, okay? You put 1 too many numbers on your question. I need a phone number as well to give you a call. Let's see what we got here on Facebook. See if Facebook's going to get a question in or not. What are your top 3 things you should focus on right now as an entrepreneur? Cam, let's give you a call. Cam, you put the right amount of numbers. Yes, you did. 326422005. Cam, I'm calling you. Let's see what kind of a phone Cam uses. Put your question and your phone number and we'll call you.
Hello?
Is this Cam?
Yes, this is Kim.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Are you losing sleep or are you pretty optimistic about life right now?
I'm extremely optimistic no matter what. I know that optimism just wins. You know, it's much bigger than positivity.
Awesome. So what's on your mind? What's your question? What are you thinking?
Okay, so my question is, what are the top 3 things you should focus on right now in the midst of everything that's going on as an entrepreneur? And what would you tell your 23-year-old self to do as well in the midst of everything?
Are you 23 years old?
Yes, I am.
And what do you do right now? What do you do for work?
I'm a life insurance agent, actually.
Oh, really? What agency are you with? What firm?
I'm with THC. I'm with you.
Why are you getting on here? You get me every day. You don't need to ask me questions on this platform.
Yes.
Who are you working with? Tell me who you're working with. Who are you with?
I am with WTP, Rodolfo, and Ceci Vargas.
So you're working with some great people there in Houston.
Absolutely.
Well, I got to tell you, here's what I be doing. Here's what I be doing. Number one, I told this to a couple of our guys. I think it's very important for everybody to hear this. Number one, just like, you know how we schedule an appointment to get a haircut. You know how you schedule an appointment to go, to the doctor. Just like you schedule an appointment to do anything. You know, everything is pretty much based on a scheduled appointment, right? You need to, the one thing, you need to schedule an appointment on when you check the news. Do you know how many times I've checked the news today? I've checked it 3 times. I've checked it 3 times.
Wow.
I've checked it 3 times. And by the way, I run a pretty sizable company and I have a lot of other things that I do. I've checked the news 3 times today because I don't want the notifications to control my life. So number one, turn off all the news notifications. They don't need to notify you on what's going on with the world. If Armageddon and end of the world is happening, I promise you'll be the first to know that we got hit by something. So you don't need to worry about it. But 3 times a day, one at 8 o'clock, one at noon, and one at 7 o'clock, check the news, go on news for 5 minutes and see what's happening, what's the news, and then get back to your life and what you need to be doing. That's one of the biggest things because it's distracting a lot of people. Second thing is spend some time focusing on things that you can control. Don't spend a lot of time putting your time into things you have zero control over. Focus on things you have control over, and eventually things are going to turn around here for everybody. So you do that and you do your part, eventually things will be on your side.
I know, and I will. I'm extremely focused. I'm fairly new to the game, and I'm, more than obsessed with everything. And I know this is all new to me because I'm from Peru, and I never knew anything about market crashes, never knew anything about recessions, anything like that. And I've been following you, and everything that you give, all your value is just incredible. And I'm ready to win. I'm ready to take, not just PHP, but myself, our lives to the next level.
I love it. Go get them. Great job.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye-bye. Based on your experience in the last 3 huge markets, last 20 years, what are 3 areas you recommend on focusing to set apart when the return of the market. Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel, what business are you in? I want to make sure who I'm speaking to now. Let me check this, guys. You're sneaking in questions, and you get me on a daily basis. All right, Daniel, I'm going to give you a call here, Daniel. You're next. 1219 381 8003. Okay, let's see what we got on Instagram here. Hey, Pat. Say, focus. How do you manage a relationship with parents? I'm going to call you next with that question. Let's see if Daniel picks up. If he doesn't, I'm calling you next. Okay, he's not picking up. How do you manage, let's see, how do you manage relationships with parents? Let's give you a call, 347-265-2029.
Hello?
How do you pronounce your name?
Ibrahim. Oh my God, I'm actually talking to you.
Ibrahim, how you doing?
I'm baffled. Great. Hi.
Where are you based out of?
I'm in New Jersey right now. I go from Southern California.
Why are you whispering? Are people sleeping? You're whispering like you're in trouble or something.
Sorry, yeah. No, I'm in shock. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Okay, I'm good. Sorry. Hi. Wow, I just watched two of your videos today.
Which one?
I constantly watch the Respect one because it hits home for me like there's no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly also watch the Grandmaster, Your Next 15 Moves.
Good.
And then I watched the Michael Cox video, the con artist, because I also, you know how you have the thing for mobsters and you do like learning about mobsters. I have that, but also like movies like Catch Me If You Can or shows like White Collar. I love a lot.
He's like the modern day Catch Me If You Can, by the way. That's
exactly.
I got a funny story about that one. I'll tell at the end if I remember. But go ahead. What's on your mind?
So, you know, so with the corona going around, my parents are also divorced, which is, I mean, the reason why I look up to you so much is because of just a lot of personal things are very similar. My family is Moroccan, so I'm a first generation American. My parents are also divorced. And, you know, I just had a call with my dad, and he was upset with me that I didn't come visit him in New York. But I'm trying to make both sides happy, and I also want to do my own thing and be an entrepreneur and all that fun stuff. But also, I want to make sure that my family's good, because family, you know how important family is to our culture. It's everything. It's the foundation of it. And I love my dad to death.
Why is he upset though? Why is he upset at you?
Because I didn't come see him.
How old is he?
He's 56 years old.
66 or 56?
No, 56, 5'6".
So, but why is he upset? He's upset that you didn't visit him during the coronavirus?
Yeah.
And are they divorced and they live in different places?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but why didn't you want to visit him?
Because I mean, when I talk about it, it sounds stupid. So like my mom wants me to stay home, and I want to respect my mom, and not make her upset by not leaving to go to Staten Island. But you know, this has been going on. I mean, basically my entire life. I'm 22 years old now, so this is something I'm used to. But
how much are you making? Enough money where you kind of can stand on your own 2 feet, or not yet?
No, I'm still in college.
So let me explain to you how I view that. Is once you can stand on your own 2 feet and support yourself, then you will gain a different kind of a respect from your parents. Until that day, it's going to be a whole different story. They're going to be looking at you as if you're still their kid. So
yeah.
Once you start making money, then the tables turn. Okay, you don't need to worry about proving and all the other stuff. Now, as far as them wanting you to be around them and visiting them, I don't think that's ever going to change. They're going to be 75 years old, and they will never. Remember this: your parents will never be happy with how much you call them and visit them. They always want you to be around more. It's just a law of life, and it ain't going away. So you're going to need to pivot to that part. But you got a simple question, man. It's tough being from a divorced family. I was one. My mom and dad, and both of them got a divorce since I was 10 years old. All I know is my parents being divorced for the last 31 years. And it's not easy, but you have to accommodate. And sometimes you have to have conversations with both of them to manage expectations, so no one's expecting you to be the perfect kid, because you're not going to deliver 100% on everybody. But
I try, yeah.
You're not going to be able to do it. You're definitely going to disappoint. If parents have expectations of perfection from their kid, the kid is always going to disappoint. So you want to make sure you don't position yourself in a way that you're disappointing your parents all the time. But you need to have that conversation with them. And I think it's coming time that maybe you need to have some of those tough conversations. When you have those conversations, there's typically a falling out. between father, son, and mother and son, but just know they're coming from a place of loving you. Believe me, the fact that your dad wants to see you, there are many sons out there who wish their dads wanted to see them. So you're part of the lucky community whose dad wants to see their son.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Now, so he was accusing me of being a bad son. He tells me, "You're for sure my son, but I'm not sure if I am your father," and that brought me to tears because I try to be a good son, a good brother, a good student, everything. I try to be good at it. Hearing my father accusing me of being a bad son, how do you?
Let me ask you, what's the shittiest thing you ever told your dad? What's the shittiest thing you ever told your dad? Or your mom? Most painful thing you ever told them?
I brought up shit from the past, and I told him that they fucked me up with excuse my language.
Yeah.
I told him that they messed me up with playing chess with me growing up, and that I'm still recovering from it psychologically.
So maybe the moment your dad had that moment, He's also allowed to say things that are going to hurt you. He made mistakes. Ain't nobody walking on water. If you expect perfection of walking on water, it's very tough to develop deep relationships. There's a different story between abuse. When it crosses the line of abuse, you got to sit down and say, I don't appreciate you talking to me like this. But aside from that, your dad doesn't walk on water and neither do you. It's so amazing that so often we want to be the ones to be forgiven when we screw up. And when it's time for us to forgive other people, we don't want to do it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It's a tough thing to learn. It's not easy to do. I'm telling you, it's not easy to do, but it's a lot easier to be ask others to forgive when they make a mistake. Okay, lights didn't go out, which is when you don't move, this thing turns off. So, anyways, maybe you ought to just drop a jingle to him, have a conversation with him, man. You made me feel like I'm Dr. Phil. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm an entrepreneur therapy, man. You are asking me about counsel. Can I call your dad? Maybe we need to have you and your dad right here to have a conversation together.
Oh, God, no.
but I want to take you in a different direction. Brother, good talking to you. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, and I hope to maybe meet you one day.
I look forward to it. Thank
you.
All right,
have a good one.
bye-bye. By the way.
Yes.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I swear to God, if we meet together, don't ever bring up the past between you and I. Don't ever talk shit about me ever again. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just telling you what you did to your dad. That's all I'm doing. Anyways, have a good rest of your evening, buddy. Everything's going to be all right.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Sometimes you got to mess with these guys. Okay, let's see who we got. Sam, where are you? I'm trying to find somebody. I got to get on a live here because he's been asking me about his marketing firm. Put your phone number again so I can see it to call you. Let's see where you are, buddy. Where are you? Aro, what's your question? Aro put his phone number. You just want to put your phone number. Aro can harcetинcha. Ինչ հարցը հարցնես։ Հարցը ես քեզի կզանգեմ։ Okay, բայց հարցը չդնես չեմ կարող զանգեմ քեզի։ Գիտես։ Ես չեմ կարող քեզի կարտամ տեսեմ ինչ ես մտածում։ That if you can guess what language that was, I'm very impressed. All right, Insta, I'm trying to come to you. I'm in agriculture. What is your philosophy in life? You guys are asking some very interesting questions. It says a lot about where people are at. Are you scared and afraid? And are you going to ask me like, hey, what's your 7-step process on how to fight off zombies? You're going to ask me questions like that. I'm actually very curious to know what people are thinking about. What is the best trait of a leader? Give me a good question. Patrick, I'm a loan officer. Do you see opportunity in real estate or should I rethink my game? I'm calling you right now, Shane. It's actually a very good question right now. Oh, let's see who we have here. You guessed it right. It wasn't.
Hello?
Is this Shane?
This is Shane. Holy shit, man. What's up?
How are you?
I am phenomenal, man. How are you?
I love your energy, man. I got to tell you, where are you based out of?
Detroit.
Nice. I was just there a couple months ago.
Yeah, man. Things are crazy here right now.
So what's on your mind? What are you thinking?
I'm a new loan officer.
Okay.
I've been in the game for about 7 or 8 months. Was a bartender for 10 years before that. And I was really starting to get some momentum going. I was starting to make some money, meet some clientele. And I don't know, man. I'm wondering if there's going to be any sort of market after all this is done or if I should rethink my game plan.
How long you been in the business as a loan officer?
About 9 months.
And how much money have you made in those 9 months so far?
Oh, geez. 40, 50 grand maybe?
Let's just say 50 grand. What's your biggest month?
Biggest month? Probably 10.
So the other 40,000 you made in the other 8 months. Okay, I'm just taking notes right now. 9 months, your biggest month is 10 grand. And how's your income look like last 90 days? Month by month by month?
Hard to say, man. I probably make between 6,000 and 8,000 a month.
Oh, so even right now so did you also make 6 to 8 in the month of March or no?
No. March things completely went shut down on me.
Okay.
So I had some deals that I was working on, but they kind of fell through with all the new rules and guidelines going on in the market. And, as much as they're advertising that interest rates are low right now, they really aren't. So I've had a lot of stuff falling apart.
Got it. And so what influenced you to get into the mortgage business?
You know what, man? I was actually working at my restaurant one night, and I waited on a guy, and by the end of the night, he told me, you need to come work with me. So the next day, I showed up, and I pretty much just been working with him directly ever since.
Was it kind of like the scene from Wolf of Wall Street? He showed you a $72,000 check, and you went on board?
Kind of, honestly, man, kind of. I walked into his office, and he's like, this person makes 10 grand a month. This person makes 20 grand a month. And I'm like, you know what, man? Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Show me how.
Shane, how old are you?
I'll be 31 next week.
Any kids?
No kids.
Why?
Girlfriend and a dog.
Girlfriend and a dog. Okay, you're
Yes,
smart.
sir. But I'm a worker. I'm a hard worker. I put hours in. I put time and effort into everything that I do. And I'm just not sure what my next move is, man. As far as the loan officer game, bringing in business is the hardest part. And, it's going to be even more difficult after all this is working itself out.
Yeah, so you want the good news or bad news?
Give it to me straight, brother, black and white.
Bad news is the next 3 to 6 months are going to be very difficult for your industry.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
Very bad. Very, very bad. I mean, I'm talking about very bad. And here's why. Let me explain to you why. I had an economist here today, and one of the things she was talking about is the fact that certain things like the American dream, more and more people are realizing home ownership is no longer the American dream. It's just not.
Yeah, I've been reading about that.
It's not the American dream. It's been a great marketing job by a lot of politicians, by a lot of great marketing people, by a lot of people in the real estate world. And people are going to start second guessing that. I think we went through an era of a good decade where people were more renters than buyers. And it took about 10 or 20 years until that went away and people started buying again. So we're probably going to go through that again because not a lot of people are going to be that gung-ho about owning a house today like they did before. So that's the first thing to be thinking about, right? As far as loans go. Number two, real estate and buying homes while the process is going through to go look at homes and all of that stuff, that's going to be challenging. So you're not going to get a lot of first-time homeowners the next 3 to 6 months as you typically do. Now, refinance is actually going to be a decent game to be a part of because of where the interest rates are at. And if these banks don't tighten them and they actually go out there and do the part of what they need to do with the loans, then that's a whole different play. Now, the part that you're going to see happening with mortgage is a lot of modification. You're going to see a lot of loan officers do modification. Loan modifications, which was a hot commodity back in 2008. And if there's anything I would advise you to do is whoever goes into the modification business, try to avoid it as much as possible. I know more people that went into jail trying to do modification for people, and a lot of innocent new loan officers got in and they thought it's easy to make $1,500 a month per pop for doing a modification, and a lot of them didn't go through, and the next thing you know, they had 50 losses they were facing. So in the next 6 months, 3 to 6 months, you're going to hear the word loan modification come out. If it does, don't even think about getting into it. I'm just telling you right now in advance. Don't even think about getting into it. So that's the bad news. Here's the good news. The good news is I got into stock market as an advisor at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter the day before 9/11. So I get started. I'm gung-ho. I'm a rookie 21-year-old broker. I'm thinking we're going to take over the world. Everyone's on the phones. Everyone's confident. Everyone's walking around as if they're going to be the next hotshot, Bud Fox type of a broker from Wall Street getting the big whale and making millions of dollars. The next day,
man, that's who I want to be.
So what I'm trying to tell you is that was me. I got started, but the next day the market tanked. The market tanked the next day.
Yeah.
And everybody disappeared. It was like a cockroach. A month later, all the brokers left. They all left.
So that's what I see happening right now.
So look, sometimes timing works in your favor. Sometimes timing doesn't work in your favor. The point is right now, you have to make a choice. If you're going to be a long-term person, you may want to stick it out, or if not, you may want to pivot right now and look at industries that could be doing really good the next, 6 to 12 months that are more recession-proof than what a lot of mortgage people are going to go through. Just remember this. Every 5 to 10 years, when the economy takes a massive hit, real estate and loan officers take a big hit. This is why sometimes a real estate person will come out and they'll say, I made $600,000 last year. Yes, but you made $120 the next year and $120 the following year. So really, you didn't make $600,000. It's $600,000 plus 120 plus 120 divided by 3. So you really only made roughly 280, not 600. So, but unfortunately, when a loan officer and a realtor makes $600,000, they live as if it's $600,000, which is not $600,000. It's only $300,000 income.
I'm a good saver. That's one thing I've always.
Well, then if you got the right habits, long term, you're in a decent industry. Short term, it's going to get very, very ugly. So when I went into financial sector, I knew I wanted to be in a financial sector. I looked at all aspects of financial sector. I looked at stockbroker. I don't want to be a stockbroker. Why do I want to be a stockbroker? Because if you lose money, your clients will call you 100 times a day. If you make them money, they'll call you 1,000 times a day because they want to make even more money. So I said, I'm not going to be a stockbroker. Then I looked at real estate and mortgages. I didn't want to do it because I saw a lot of those guys were in it for 30, 40 years and they're selling for the rest of their lives because every 10 years they will lose their savings. I didn't want to do real estate. Then I looked at insurance and property and casualty. I didn't want to do PNC because you have to service your clients every month all the time to collect payments. And that's a difficult business to be a part of because you're all customer service for every month. So then I chose insurance and annuities. But for you, you got to kind of pick and choose which one you want to go with. The reality of it is there's billions to be made in each side. You got to choose one of them. I chose insurance. So go based on that.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I possibly have an opportunity as a loan officer to get in at Quicken. So I think that's an avenue that I could go down.
Salary? Are they giving you a salary?
It would be a minimal salary and then bonuses for incentives.
Okay.
But the most of the business of finding the deals would be brought to me. It'd be very little actually lead sourcing on my part. I'd pretty much just be turning and burning phone calls.
And where you are right now, what's the opportunity like where you're currently at right now?
I don't know if there is an opportunity. I don't know if the broker shop exists after all this is over.
Well, then it doesn't seem like you have a lot of alternatives, do you?
Right.
Why don't you pursue that and see what they're going to offer you at the Quicken place?
I appreciate that. I just want to say you're the man, dude. I got turned on to you a couple months ago, and I watch your stuff religiously, so I appreciate you.
Let me tell you something, Shane. I have to tell you this, man. I was on 2 different calls. Up until you called, my energy elevated. So you have to know you're very infectious, okay, contagious. And in this business,
you have no idea how much that means to me.
Brother, you're going to do big things with your life, man. I mean, you got something you can't teach. You got a very attractive personality. You got a very attractive energy. You're going places. I look forward to hearing all the success stories about you. Go get them, buddy. I'm excited about you.
Patrick, if this is the best thing I get out of this entire quarantine, it's fucking worth it. Hey, if you're doing, have somebody reach out to me, man. If I can do the insurance thing and I can pivot to that, there's money to be made. I'm all for it.
Look, whether that happens or not, all I'm telling you is you're going places. I'm more excited about you as an individual. You're going places, buddy. Good talking to you, Shane. You take care.
Hey, that means so much to me. Thank you so much.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Bye-bye. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get my one buddy. I got to go. Okay, Sam, I am calling you. Here we go. See what Sam's got to do and what kind of energy Sam's going to bring today. Because Shane was on fire. Sam, kezem zangu, my man.
Hello?
Is this Sam?
Mr. Pat, this is Sam.
How you doing?
Man, Man, can't be any better after this.
I love it. I love it. So what's on your mind, man? What are you thinking?
So with a partner, we went ahead and started a digital marketing agency.
Okay.
And the goal was to get this going before a recession hit. So then we could start and promoting businesses during the recession and grow with the economy. But we weren't expecting a recession like this, where businesses are closed down. And the existing clients we have, everybody's put on hold. So I want to see, what is your thoughts on it that we can do to maximize this situation, and when the economy starts growing, we could be booming with it as well.
I'm going to give you the most ridiculous idea right now. Okay? I'm going to give you the most ridiculous idea right now. Okay? And the reason why I'm going to give it to you because of an approach that worked with me. And I would say yes to this. And I did say yes to this. So I'm going to tell you for you to be thinking about this. So think about it from this standpoint. There are times that companies and businesses need a digital marketer to help them get a what? Client, right? Like you're trying to get a business. So this is a method of me going and getting clients. Fair enough? That's one of the things that digital marketers do. They hire somebody like you spend money, you get me advertising, you put Facebook ads, and next thing you know, I'm getting 50, 100, 200 leads, and I'm converting them, and you're showing me the fact that you spent $5,000 with me last month, we made you $22,000. Great. Then there are times, Sam, this is very important. Then there are times where you don't play the digital marketer, you play the social advisor. Let me explain to you what I mean by social advisor. Here's what a social advisor is right now. Okay, here's what a social advisor is right now. You reach out to businesses and you say, look, as you can tell, there's a lot of people out there that are winning today because of what they're doing at a time like this to give back and win people over. We have some strategies to do that. That is our specialty. Mr. Patrick David, what is it you're doing right now to go out there and be in a position where you're giving back to the community, helping out your clients? And I'm going to say, I don't have a strategy. Oh, really? No, I don't have a strategy. So have you been watching the news when you're hearing the fact that Beyonce just committed to $1 million? This other person's given $1 million. Today, the founder of Twitter just announced he's given $1 billion, which is the biggest pledge from any entrepreneur to give to the coronavirus. No individual has given a bigger number than him with $1 billion. You saw Elon Musk that went out there and he had his staff make all these ventilators and he sent them to hospitals. You're seeing these things that are happening, right? And they say yes. You say, great. Then you have to go team up with 5 other people to see what they're doing to sell a product that's needed today. For instance, masks. So imagine I'm selling a product and I have my customers that are typically coming in or whatever kind of a business I'm doing. I want them to be taken care of with issues they're thinking about. John, Patrick, what does it look like if your 1,000 customers get a mask mailed out to them, packaged out from 3M, and I can get it to you for a whatever rate is to help out with your community being safe? What if I can tell you that we can send out to your customers whatever product that they need, where it's a little, kit package or a social package or some kind of a contribution that's being made to your customers. So you don't use digital media today to get customers. You use a digital media. Come on. This light here is so sensitive. Turn on already, buddy. Okay. You use a time like this to get small business owners to be loved in the community by their customers. That's the approach you take. And I can tell you, not a lot of digital media companies are taking that approach. The only approach they're taking is, well, let me tell you, people are still buying a lot of products today, and let us show you a creative way. Some digital marketers out there don't take the approach that we take. We take a very unique approach. None of that works. Take a complete different angle. You know what, John? This is what we like to do business with people. What's that? We want to be able to do business with you and be your main source of digital marketing for the next 24 to 36 months. And the way we want to do that is by earning your loyalty to show you how much we can increase your brand recognition in the marketplace today. How do you plan on doing that? Well, what is the biggest thing on people's mind today when they wake up in the morning? Coronavirus. Great. What are some supplies that you think they want right now that's on shortage? XYZ. What if we can help you provide that for your customers so you win them during bad times, so during great times they tell the world about what you did for them? Oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way. That's why we're a different kind of a digital marketing agency. So now you want my loyalty now, and then long term, you're going to get a lot more business from me. That is what I'd be doing if I were you today.
That's exactly what I'll be doing.
Well, then when you do that, next time I go live, give us an update on how that works out for you guys.
Will do. Thank you. And then, no, that was amazing. That was worth all the hustle to get into you.
Well, then go get him, baby. But keep me updated with everything that happens with this.
Thank you. Last question, Pat, is are there like top 3 stocks that you would be recommending?
Any stocks that I'd be recommending today?
Yes.
I am still registered, so I cannot really give any kind of stock advice today, especially since I'm a CEO of a company. I can't kind of make any advice on stocks for you to invest into. But I would give you a different kind of a recommendation. Do you think the airline industry is going away anytime soon?
No, sir.
Do you think when things settle down, we're going to go out and fly again?
And all the business meetings and everything.
Take a look at which one of the airlines took the biggest hit. That's a value stock. You may want to consider investing into something like that. I'm not going to tell you more than that. Take a look at which of the airlines were doing okay pre this crisis with cash and the strategies they've made. See which one's a value stock by doing a little bit more research, and then consider investing some money into that.
Thank you very much, Pat.
You got it, buddy. Good talking to you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, let's see what we got here. Instagram. What lesson should I take from this crisis? How can I capitalize and prepare for the next 8 to 10 years? You know what? I actually like that question. Tamim Reza, I am calling you. All right, Instagram, I'm coming to you next. So if you got any good question, post them. I'm coming to you next because it's Facebook's turn. How much time I got? I got 15 more minutes here with you before I go do this next interview.
Hey, Pat.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So is your first name Reza or is your first name Tamim?
My first name is Tamim. My last name is Reza.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bangladesh, but the Reza is, I think, Iranian, right?
Somebody in your family hooked up with an Iranian, that's for sure.
Maybe.
I'm almost certain of it because they were pretty good at it. Okay, so tell me, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so as I was asking, this crisis, I'm actually trying to learn from it right now. I'm 30 years old, and I'm an engineer working in the auto industry. And it's not going pretty well. And I'm also an entrepreneur, so I built up my business back home a year ago. I have like 25 people working for me, but that's all on hold and all that. So I have time to think, what's going on around and how the economics work, how the dynamics work during a crisis like this. So I was just asking, during a crisis like this, what lessons can I take? What do you think? And I want to prepare for.
Let me ask you a few questions. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have one kid.
Married?
No, I divorced.
Okay, so you're 30 years old, divorced with one kid.
Yeah.
Okay, but you support the family, obviously. And are they here or are they back at home?
They're back home. I came here on a student visa. I'm working on that, settling down here.
So you're staying here. You're not going back to Bangladesh?
No, I don't plan to. I plan to settle down here.
Okay, sounds good. And do you have some cash? Do you have some liquid?
Yeah, I do. I do have a decent amount of cash.
Okay, and
I should take up 60% of my salary for the last 2 years.
So 60% of your salary the last 2 years. Good for you. And what kind of business are you in?
It's a service business, like cleaning and disinfection and all that. So that's going to boom pretty soon.
No doubt about it. So your question is how to be prepared for this the next 8 to 10 years?
Yeah, so what lessons I can take from this one, and how can I prepare to capitalize on the next one that's going to come in 8 years?
Yeah, okay. So one thing's the question you got to ask yourself is, do you think we're going to have another pandemic that could possibly happen again the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
It may not be pandemic, but it may be something else. You never know. But historically speaking, there have been crashes every 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. So it's coming, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, that's why I was asking, how can I prepare? And what lessons I can take.
So there's a few things I will tell you that for me in 2001, the first time I got involved was the first market crash that happened. That was a black swan. That was when 9/11 happened. Nobody was expecting. Nobody woke up in the morning saying, what if a black swan takes place? 2008, when that happened, a lot of experts could have predicted it because you could just look at the numbers and know when we could not sustain that for too long of a time, right? And then today it's more of a white swan because we've been through a pandemic before, but it's still a surprise and it's a shocker on what's going to be taking place. Look, the reality of it is I can tell you what I'm doing. I've been waiting for this day for a long time myself. I wasn't expecting it to be pandemic because this is costing people's lives, but I've been preparing for cash. So I'm just buying anything that I'm hearing people that are on, that are tight on cash. I'm getting calls left and right. People that, $600,000 cars, they want to sell for $150,000 because they need money right now. I can get them to $150,000 right now. Cars that were once selling for, like this is a $400 or $500 car. This was selling for $1,000, $2,000. I'm not buying one of them. I'm buying 10 of them. It's a Luka Doncic rookie card. This guy's going to have a long career. He doesn't jump a lot, which means he can't hurt his ankle too much. He's a pretty slow guy, but he's a great leader. So long term, this guy's going to be a good investment. So I'm buying things now that are cheap and I'm getting them at discounted rate. Few things you got to look at is the fact that everything comes down to you being prepared. Since you're 30 years old, that cash that you have, I would probably, if I'm you, spend the next 3-6 months studying markets, studying products, studying industry, studying, how trends produce, what industries that they take hits. If this happens, that goes. I'm just studying all of these guys. So the way I work is I go and I research one word and I buy every single book on that word with 300 plus reviews on Amazon and I read all of it. Okay. So for instance, if you want to find out about investments, you'd go on Amazon today and you buy any book on investing from Buffett, from Dalio, from any of those guys. Study it, like be a nerd like you've never been before.
Yeah.
Like you've never been before. Watch their videos. Dalio's got a lot of good videos. Buffett's got a lot of good videos. Munger's got a lot of good videos.
But that gives the insight.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Go study it like never before. And at this point, what you're looking for is reaction. When this happens, this moves. When that happens, this moves. This is when gold goes up. Like, a couple things on gold. The last 30 years, Dow Jones has crushed gold in return, but not in the last 15 years. In the last 15 years, gold has beaten both Dow Jones and S&P 500 in return the last 15 years. Now, why is that? Is gold a good product today because of what's going on with the marketplace? Is it a good way for me to hedge myself? Because, what if all of a sudden all of this debt, like right now, think about a country like I was talking about earlier today. So U.S. has a lot of debt. We're sitting on a lot of debt right now with U.S., $23 trillion, and our collectible liabilities around $123 trillion, okay? China's got $5.5 trillion of debt, but if you look at their debt to GDP ratio, it's around 300% based on what you calculate everything. You know what Russia's been doing quietly? Russia only has $217 billion of national debt, and that's 17% of their debt to GDP ratio. Guess what Russia's bought the last 10 years? 400 tons of gold, just the last few years. Why? Because they've been seeing that you can't constantly print money. And America keeps printing money. The feds print. You can't print constantly. You're devaluing everything. Well, Russia's sitting around saying eventually if we go back to gold standard or things change, we're going to be... So they're making a lot of methodical decisions. America's playing a little bit reckless right now with the Fed. So I would suggest you study all the markets. That's what I would tell you. I'm not going to give you any opinions on which side or the other side. I'm just going to tell you, study all the markets. And the next time this comes around, when you see, I see a sign. If that happened the last 3 times, this is going to happen. That's a sign that that's about to happen. And then the greatest investors are those who can anticipate a lot of different things, not with 100% accuracy, but pretty close to a higher ratio of confidence and accuracy where they're prepared for it. So that's my biggest suggestion to you.
Yeah, so this is exactly what I've been trying to do. I just wanted to revalidate that I'm going in the right way. For example, I'm also connecting with people who have similar mentality, and I've created a group, for example. So we will do the research and study stuff together, stock market and everything else, real estate, what's going on and how this impacts which industry in what ways. So
love it. Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Also piling up on cash. That's also another
Yes, don't listen to this cash is trash type of stuff. Have resources to be able to buy stuff if the opportunity comes along.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
buddy, good talking to you, man. All the best to you.
Thanks. And last thing, before I go, I've been following you since when you had less than 500 followers.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I've been a long time follower of yours, and I have maybe hooked maybe hundreds of people, hundreds of friends of mine to you. So just I want to put it out there.
I appreciate you, man. You know, I appreciate your love more than you know. Today we got word that our Russian YouTube channel crossed 100,000 subs, and it's 100% Russian, and we're about to do a couple different languages because we're being asked for it. But the Valuetainment wouldn't be where it's at without people like you, man. Appreciate you for what you do, man. Truly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Have a nice day.
Anytime. You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Insta, I want to come to you next, but I'm trying to see a good question for me to come to you. Gold and silver is the way. It's definitely good for a portion of your money. So it sounds like you guys, some of you guys like this hair. Some of you guys want me to go back to the old hair. I don't know. This hair takes me a lot more time. Ray Dalio just said that he still believes cash is trash. Thoughts? If a guy his level is worth $18 billion. Okay, so why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about that? Ray Dalio says cash is trash. He still believes that. I'm going to call you right now. Okay, I don't know what your name is, but I'm going to call you right now. This is a very, very important question. Or 0. I'm trying to get you 376. Let me see if I got you or not. What is your name, buddy?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm amazing. I sent the message 5 times so you can see it because I really wanted to talk to you. So I appreciate you calling me.
Where are you based out of?
I lived in Dallas, but now I live in Orlando.
Or are you Puerto Rican?
No, I'm Hispanic from Mexico.
You're Mexican living in Orlando.
Yeah, that's right. I'm one of the only Mexicans out here.
Oh, are you married or are you single?
I'm single. I'm 28, single, and working out here.
So are you got a girl or no? Are you single?
No.
Well, let me tell you, man, Orlando's market is pretty legit. I'm married, so I've been off the market, but I shop for a lot of my peers constantly. And when I go to Orlando, the market in Orlando is a pretty decent market in many different ways. We have 3 offices there, and it's I have a lot of my single guys that like to go to Orlando to go shopping. But okay, tell me, what's on your mind? What are you thinking?
Awesome. So, I wanted to give you my recognition of you. The thing I appreciate about you most is that you make complicated things sound very simple. And I once heard there's 2 types of smart people: those who make easy things sound hard, and those who make hard things sound easy. And you're the latter, which is amazing. It's very easy to learn from you.
Well, I appreciate that.
And so I'm in the solar business out here in Orlando.
Okay.
And a lot of our sales, I'm one of the district managers up there, a lot of our sales were door knocking. And so that's completely shut down. And I'm having to adapt to generating leads online.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, I have a person in California who's good at generating leads.
Yeah.
But he also has a course that he sells where he teaches people how to do what he does. Which route would you take in the situation that we're in?
So I thought you asked a question about Dalio. You just changed. You just flipped it on me.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. I completely forgot about that.
I pay attention. I pay attention. I got a memory.
I know.
Okay, so ask me the question, then we'll come back to your next question. Give me your question about Dalio.
Dalio, well, he said cash is trash. That in the very moments right now that things are going on, we can't really see what's going to happen. And so he says that in the long run, his stance on cash is trash still stands.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think I agree with them or disagree with them?
I saw your interview with him, and if I'm frank with you, it seemed like you guys didn't agree a lot. I didn't see the whole thing, but from the 20 minutes that I saw when you interviewed him, it seemed like there was a bit of clash.
There was a bit of a clash, but I think the clash was in a different place, and a lot of people were upset with me because of the approach I took with him. I think sometimes when you're talking to Ray Dalio, his answers are 30 minutes, And if I have an hour and a half, I want to be able to ask more questions. So I kind of had to push him on it to allow me to go through some of the questions. I still didn't go through half my questions, but this is what I would tell you about what Ray Dalio said, that he still believes cash is trash. So let me ask you a question. What percentage of America is in the same situation as Ray Dalio is financially?
Oh.
What percentage?
0.001.
It's not 0.001. Let me simplify it for you. He's the 25th richest man in the world.
Wow.
So if you got 330 million people, he's the 25th richest man in America, I believe. So if you got somebody that's worth $19 billion, I got to stand up with the slides. If you got a man that's worth $19 billion, do you think his way of thinking has worked for him?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Do you think it's possible for another person to change his mind on his philosophies at this phase of his game, while out of 330 million people living in America, only 24 people have more money than him?
Right.
Okay,
right.
So watch where I'm going now. Are his clients middle income families and low income families, or are his clients 1% of 1% of America?
The 1% of 1%.
So in that topic, he's right about cash is trash. That's absolutely right. But it is not right for 95% of America.
Wow.
Let me say that one more time to you. Listen, a lot of times you get people that give advice. Okay, let me give you, okay, so for instance, are you married today? The answer is what? No. Do you have kids today? The answer is no. So can you imagine if I sit down with you and I preach to you about how you need to work on being a great grandfather one day? How much but what I'm trying to tell you is, how much do you care today about being a great grandfather?
Nothing at all.
I mean, before you become a great grandfather, what do you have to become first? You first have to do what? You first have to be a good man that finds a woman. That means you have to be good at choosing the right girl and being intuitive enough to choose the right girl. Then after you choose her, then you have to go through courtship. Then you have to propose. Then you have to get married. Then you have to try to make your marriage work. Then you have to see if you can have a kid. Then you have a kid. Then you have to see if you can raise a decent kid. Then you have to pay for this kid. Then you have to make sure he stays healthy. Then hopefully he becomes a good citizen. Then he gets married one day and does the same exact thing. Then him and his wife have kids. You're probably not going to know what it is to be a grandfather for the next 30, 40 years. Is that a fair assessment?
That's true. No, you're absolutely right.
So he is right when he says cash is trash, because his clients are worth $100 million. Yes, he's right. He's right. So when he tells me cash is trash, to me he's right. But he's not right to 95% of America. A lot of times Americans take advice from anybody based on any blanket statement they make. And, oh, Ray Dalio said cash is trash. That means cash is trash for me. You don't even have $2,000 in the bank. Of course, you better go get your cash. The average American doesn't have $50,000 in the bank. Can you imagine if we could tell all average Americans, middle income families, even the people that are making $200,000 a year income, don't save your money. Don't save your money. Just keep putting it elsewhere. No. So the advice isn't the wrong advice. It's the right advice, but it's not to the right community. We have to really decipher between who needs to hear that advice. I understand that.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Who is your community? Because you're reaching out to me, a 28-year-old, and I.
But I'm speaking to you at your level. Because I'm about to give you your answer. What question you're going to ask me? I'm going to tell you if I'm speaking. How much cash you have right now in the bank?
About $100,000.
You have $100,000. You're 28 years old.
Correct.
Let me ask you a question. How scared are you right now with the economy?
No, not so much.
Why do you think you're? Wait a minute. Why are you not scared?
Because of the cash.
Of course, because of the cash. Do you realize how many people I can get on the call with right now that from the first second you can tell their fear?
Wow.
From the second, they're like, hey, Pat. Hey, so let me ask you, you don't sound like that. Matter of fact, listening to you, how many of you, what's your name, by the way? Your name says G. What's your name?
It's Gabriel.
Gabriel. From all of you that are listening to Gabriel's voice, how many of you guys listening to Gabriel feel that he's pretty calm, collected, and confident about himself? How many of you feel pretty calm about how Gabriel is right now? How many of you say, put thumbs up if you feel calm about what Gabriel is feeling right now? People are commenting right now that, yes, what's the point? If you had $2,000 right now in the bank, what would you sound like? You'd be panicking.
Right.
Okay. So the moral of the story is, at this point of the game, if you didn't have $100,000, you may be playing a different ball game. And because you have $100,000, the company cannot fire you, because a person like you don't need them. You could go anywhere right now because you got $100,000 in the bank. If you only had $1,500 in the bank, the company could control you. Now, we don't get the best of you in the world. Now, later on, when you have $5 million, is it smart for your $5 million to keep it all cash? No. Is it smart to keep $2.5 million of your $5 million in cash? Of course not. Is it smart for you to keep $500,000 of your $5 million in cash? Maybe, depending on your cost of living, family, all that other stuff. But definitely not 100% of it. It's a different story today for you. So to answer that question for you, the answer is yes and no to Ray Dalio. He is both right and he is both off in an aspect of it, because not necessarily himself, the way people are viewing his advice that he's given to people. So I'm going to give you the last question to you, because the other question you were asking was, you said a guy in California and LA is trying to sell you either leads, or he's trying to sell you the system of how he gets his leads. Which one should I invest in? Was that your question for me?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So your current model of what you're doing, you said you are doing, what was your business that you're doing right now in Orlando?
It was solar panels.
Okay. Solar panels. So with the solar panel in Orlando, is a big part of the solar panel business built on the model of leads?
It is, correct.
Okay. And so the guy that's showing you his system, is he a lead guy, or does he also sell solar panels and he's making 7 figures per year?
Both.
No. What I'm asking you is this. So he full time makes 7 figures selling solar panels. That's what he does for a living.
No, he sells the systems to generate leads on your own. But then during the week, his part-time is selling solar systems to houses.
How much does he make as solar panels?
Oh man, well, commission for solar panels could be anywhere $2,000 to $10,000.
But I'm asking you, what is he making? What is he making per month that you know of that he's making off solar panels?
I haven't asked him.
That's the first question I'll be asking. Let me explain to you why. You know, I'm in the world of insurance. Guess how many people want to sell me leads? Guess how many people want to sell me leads?
I mean, everyone that encounters you.
Everybody and their mothers wants to sell me leads. From morning till night, they want to sell me leads. Now, you know what's so funny about the people that want to sell me leads? The people that want to sell me leads can't sell anything. So why are you selling me leads? If your leads are so good, why don't you just keep the leads to yourself and you make the tens of millions of dollars? Why are you trying to share your leads with me? So that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I'd be thinking about. The second thing I'd be doing with this guy is maybe I would do a joint venture. And here's how we do the joint venture. I would say, why don't we do this? What's that? Why don't we split the leads? What do you mean we split the leads? Let's go half and half. Let's create a joint venture together.
Can I interfere?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And so that was an idea. Okay, that was he did tell me. He's like, hey, you're a closer. I want you on my team. I know that if I give you leads, you'll be able to close them.
Sure.
He's more of a systems guy, and I'm more of the closer.
Perfect.
But I work for a company, and I don't feel that's ethical for me to be doing two things at once.
No. I'm not telling you to do anything unethical. Remember, what I'm saying to you is, what if you go to your boss and you say, this guy's giving me leads, and I don't know if I want to pay him the money yet, but here's what I want to do. Do we want to test him on 20 leads and we do a split joint venture with this guy? See what your boss will tell you. I'm not telling you to leave your company and do it on the side, because that's not the right way of doing business. But I'm telling you, if this guy is so confident in his leads, put it on him. Prove to me you're so confident in your leads. And what I've typically found is the following. So I hired a guy to work for me. And this guy came in and he told me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No problem. I put him on a salary. A month later, he didn't do any of the stuff that he said. I still have to pay him the salary. A month later, he said, well, you know, it's because of this. For 3 months straight, he told me why he didn't hit his numbers. You know what I told him on the fourth month? On the fourth month, I said, here's what I want to do. I want to double your commission and pay you more than ever before. But here's how it's going to work. It's only going to be based on you selling. If you don't sell, I don't pay you nothing. You know what happened to him in the fourth month? He disappeared.
Wow. How'd
you disappear? I thought you were very confident in your abilities. It was a very good filtering system. Now, guess what? I've also done that where I've given the person a shot to do a split, and guess what they've done? They've delivered. Those who delivered, guess what I did with them? I kept them. So if this guy delivers, find a way to create a partnership with them.
So you say yourself as the A side is what I'm hearing from you say when you speak to people like that. Like you make the rules.
I'm sorry, aren't you a closer? Aren't you a closer?
Correct.
Do you consider yourself that you can hang with anybody when it comes down to selling solar panels in Orlando?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then what are you worried about? Confidence is for, you know how hard it is to find people that get the results? You know how hard it is to find hard workers? Very hard. So you're in charge here, not him. You are in charge here. So you get to dictate what you want to do with him, not him. You decide. So the leverage is on you. Anyways, brother, it's been a great conversation. Instagram, I'm going to go off and come back on to the last 5 minutes and we'll be from there.